And now for the next episode. Let's get it.
I went back and bought all of the albums when I guess at the early part of this year, and the original School Love Affair album, their photo card was bigger though. And
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm trying
Yeah.
to pull it out of my thing, but I can't.
Not the special edition one though. The special edition one, this photo card that is in special edition is a replica of the ones that were in the first print.
Oh my gosh, Crystal, that's huge.
Yeah, it's got a group side and then a single side on the old one, or on the non-special edition.
Non-special, yeah.
Yeah, in the regular edition, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, there's two versions. There's the arms open and then the arms in for the group. So like all of the, if you're I know too much about cards because I'm collecting.
Yes, you do, Melissa. Oh my gosh.
I swear. Like, I'll send Crystal stuff sometimes when I see a Jen, and she's like, oh, I don't know, that's a lot of money. And I'm like, I'm telling you, that's a good deal, though.
That is so funny.
Oh my gosh.
I love you, Jen, but I don't know about spending that much yet. I need to save money to see you in person.
Well, we're recording, which is good, but I was going to say, tell that to the 300 merch items that are about to drop over the next 8 weeks or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
I know. When I saw the On ad, I was like, no, I might have to get some of that stuff. It depends what it looks like.
Yeah, and then they did Black Swan, though. I'm like, Black Swan and On? Like, how do I say no?
I know. Because the Boy with Love stuff is cute, but I probably wouldn't get those towels and stuff. And
I wouldn't want to use them. And I wouldn't want anybody else to use them either. You know,
right,
like
they'd be like my special towels.
Yes, the towels in the half bath, it's for decoration. You know, the pretty ones. Like, no. You don't use that one.
I just hope everything's ugly. Like, that's really my only saving grace right now.
I hope none of it would ever fit me. It's made for a size 0 person. And then all the kitchen stuff, bathroom stuff, I hope I don't like it.
Yep, me too.
That would save me some money.
I will have to rely on you ladies to tell me when the merchandise drops, though, because of my new job situation. But anyways, I mean, I'll look at it, but I'm not sure if I'll buy anything yet. But I would like to look at it.
Yeah,
I wish they'd come out.
Maybe I was just saying I was gonna maybe wait until like the next day to look, so that hopefully if I liked something, it was sold out.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'm that desperate to not buy any more stuff.
I know. I like the fact that the merch I have fits nicely on this new shelving thing I got. And there really isn't room for any more on that shelf, which is great. So I just want to kind of keep it like that.
Let's see it.
Right? Let's see it.
Let's see it.
Not right now yet, but it's gonna be full.
I like the shelf. I like the photo you sent me of the shelf you bought, but I swear I would need probably like 4 of them.
Oh no.
Or maybe 5. I don't know. I think my books are just gonna have to go into storage. Like, I think that's I mean, I haven't read a book in a while, so.
Well, I like the fact that I bought like the 11 by 17 photo album art portfolio thing, and then I bought some 8 by 10s and some 4 by 6s, and then some for photo cards, so that I can protect everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Keep it safe.
Yeah.
I hope they come out with more kitchen stuff, like the plates and stuff like that. Like, remember that one set, the pretty pink.
Oh, yeah. With like the chopsticks and the bell cups.
Mm-hmm.
And the
that
noodle
was
bowl.
so expensive.
It was, but you know what? It's so beautiful because I got the noodle bowl set and the mug, 2 mugs. And they're so nice. And I always feel like it's such a treat when I use them. But I'm like, oh, but I don't even have a full set. So I can't even have anybody else join me with these plates.
I know. I hope they come out with some cheaper chopsticks that are easier to get that say BTS on them, because I would really love some.
I don't want to spend $40 on chopsticks though. And that was like before shipping.
I know. I hope they come out with some cheaper ones. Some that maybe Youngie made on In the Soop or something.
Oh, or a spoon that Jin made.
Really primitive. Made
Or
by
what was
hand.
it? What was it that Jimin was making that just wasn't coming out for him?
I think he initially tried to make it look like some sort of animal, but it didn't. I guess it was hard to
That was
chop
ambitious.
through. Yeah, and then I guess he was trying to aim to make a BTS logo, and then it was still too hard because it was too thick. I think it was something along those lines.
Oh my
But
goodness.
yeah, I felt bad for him. I would have loved to see the end product.
I know.
Yeah,
I
but
think
he
that was
really tried.
I think that was the one activity bust out of all of the activities they did, because they managed to pull off the Legos. I thought it was really fun watching J-Hope put together the Stranger Things scene. That seemed to have taken him forever.
I
And the
agree.
airplanes, of course.
Yes. I always hear his adorable laughter and that joy.
They're so cute. They're like little boys.
Yes.
Right, but then you watch the On performance and they remind you that they clearly are not little boys.
Nope. Oh, the duality of all seven. It's crazy.
So do we want to talk about day 2 of the On concert?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
None of the guys cried.
I felt like they were more relaxed on day 2 because they'd already done it, and I felt like they felt more comfortable with the audience that they had, and I think they really were starting to enjoy having the audio and visuals of ARMY. I felt like that really helped them.
I felt like they were actually themselves again, as if they were on stage performing. I think the first day, of course, for everyone, it was a new experience for all of us, and even for them trying to understand the whole process of having the armies on the screen. But I agree, the second day it seemed like it went a lot more smoother, and it felt like an actual concert. Not that the first day didn't feel like an actual concert, but when you see their expressions, when you see them, if they look happy, you can't help but feel happy with them.
I think day 1 was much more emotionally charged. And they were probably suffering from that anticipation, perhaps like we were. And day 2, they had gotten it all out of their system. Okay, it is what it is, and we've had our moments, some of them probably off camera. But yeah, I agree with you guys. They were much more relaxed, and you could tell in their body language and their eyes, it could have been a live concert. They brought that much of themselves to it. The Bangtan that we know.
Yeah, I did notice Jin though towards the end when they were climbing up that little hill thing again. I think at one point he was going to try and say something as a goodbye to Army again, but then he put his mic back down. But I think he was getting a little bit teary-eyed, but he kind of stopped himself because I guess as they hung up the group, he's trying to be strong. And I was like, oh no, poor Jin. But he didn't break down or anything. He kind of he's quietly went on waving at Army.
I can also see him not wanting to get razzed by the other boys, just like they razzed Jimin apparently.
Yeah,
I can totally see
Jimin.
that.
Like,
I know.
I can't believe they go and give him. I mean, I can believe they'd go and give him a hard time. But like,
sweet baby.
Poor baby was just all upset and emotional.
But I'm sure it was like half comforting as well.
It's weird because I think that I liked Jimin's filter dance on day 1 versus day 2. And I don't know if it was the camera angles that captured more of him on day 1, but I feel like I was missing something with the dance on day 2. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But when I look at side by sides, I'm like, I always go to red suit Jimin and not maroon suit Jimin.
I was trying to remember what colored suit he had on the first day versus the second day.
Yeah, purple and red.
Okay, purple and red.
That was
or red and purple in that order.
Yeah.
Yes, right.
Sometimes the color contrast makes a big difference as well. Because of Jungkook, I felt like his performance on the second day was more like in your face versus
oh my gosh, yes. Yeah. Well, and that outfit too. I mean, the open buttons shirt. I was like, why does it have buttons?
Right. The way he had to like tug it up to show his abs, like I was pretty sure he was just about to rip it off.
Yeah, just.
And he could get down on the ground more the second day than he could on the first day in the leather pants. So
Right.
yeah,
he was much less restricted.
He was crawling to us.
Oh man.
I
I
feel
will
like
continually call that his Magic Mike moment forever because it was just too much.
It really
Because it
was.
was a Magic Mike moment.
It was.
It's like the talk of the century. I mean, I still see it posting everywhere.
Oh,
if he'd have
forever.
bent down and did like a hip dip to the floor, like it'd have been over. Like,
Yeah.
full on throwing dollar bills at him. Like,
well, we may have missed like the next 3 or 4 minutes just because we would have needed to be revived at that point. Smelling salts.
Yeah, you're right, because that's why I felt I missed Filter, especially the first day. It was because I was still recovering from my time. I thought they kind of like they should have put something
Moon in the middle.
Yeah, they should have put like Jen after JK.
Sweet pink bloused Jen.
Yes.
Would have, made me go, okay, we're Little Prince, we're good, puppies and kittens, before we go feral again.
Yeah, that
no,
was really
they came hard for us back to back with JK and Jimin. Like
they did.
I almost couldn't like inner child both days. I was just like, okay, I'm gonna pay attention, and I'm like, still recovering. I don't know if I'm paying attention.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Tay. I still love you.
I know we were lucky we had like that VCR before Ego, so
yes,
that broke things up. That was nice.
And that kind of calmed me down because I knew even on day one, oh, this is like the disco set, and they're gonna give us the Boy with Love, and they're gonna give us the Ego. I thought Dynamite was gonna be in that mix, but I thought, okay, we can calm down now.
The only thing I was sad about in day 2 were the songs that they ended with, besides We Are Bulletproof Eternal.
Spring
I was hoping,
Day.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like they gave us stuff that
Idol?
we've already seen lately.
Idol.
I was hoping for like Blood, Sweat, and Tears
And Run. Was it Run?
Yeah,
They did Run. Was that on day 2?
Yeah, that was day 2.
But you're right, Susan. Like, that's all stuff we've seen recently.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know. I would have liked to have seen some Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
That's what I was hoping for.
Especially with the VCRs, like you guys have been talking about, like they're so similar to the Blood, Sweat, and Tears VCRs. Oh, well, maybe that's a hint to what's coming in November.
Dream.
Ooh.
I really feel like Dream is a big part of this. Because if you guys remember when they did No More Dream, it was on No More Dream. And then they sang No More Dream. And then at the end, No More Dream just turned into Dream. And then Junie, in his ending mints on day 1 and day 2, he said, Dream is our map. That's what he said.
Oh, right.
And so I was like, there's that dream word again. And I feel like the boys always drop hints just in plain sight. Like, remember during Bang Bang Kong, the live, when Jimin started dancing to in the boxing gloves?
Right.
Boy was like outright giving us the hint right there. And we just thought, oh, look how cute he's boxing. And he was tipping us off too. This song is going to have a little boxing theme. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out in November. In a month, y'all.
I know. I was watching Bookish Theories, and she was talking about My Time, but she was also talking about what you were just talking about, Jay, as far as what the potential themes are for the next album. And she talked about how even though this was an ending, that the next album is a beginning, and that's why maybe Junie said something about like redoing the map.
He mentioned map a few times. We'll redo the map, and then he said Dream is our map. So map could also be a clue.
Well, aren't we on map of the soul, right? So maybe map of the dream, or I don't know.
Oh, the plot thickens.
Yeah.
Always. Hindsight 2022. We'll be like, oh, that was so obvious.
Oh man.
so terrible with all these theories and stuff, but I do love like I guess the generic messages of it, that even though we're apart from each other, we're still connected on the map. So it's I stick to the basics, and I'm like, oh, they're so sweet, always thinking of Army. But then when you dig really deep into the messages, I'm like, I don't know what's coming. Something's good is coming. That's all I know.
Well, sometimes I feel really smart, and then sometimes I feel really dumb. Like when it hit me days later after day 2 that, holy cow, that was the end of the map of the Soul era. It had not even occurred to me until days later when I saw people talk about it on Twitter, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's the end!" And we didn't get louder than bombs.
No,
So
I saw a
sad.
thing. I saw a tweet, and it was like, "We all sit together," and it was Paradise. Louder than bombs was joining the table.
I know.
1314, whatever that one, and one other song shit I don't remember. But anyways, I was like, I giggled. It's sad but true.
Oh,
I know.
I almost feel like they should have a special unplugged sitting on stools and give us those songs that they've never performed live.
That would be amazing.
And those songs would lend themselves so beautifully to an unplugged type situation.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That's my dream. My dream is that they do like I was telling Melissa the other day, I think it'd be great if when they came back and did weekend concerts again, like maybe one night is like electric and then the next night is acoustic.
Ooh.
So
I like how you think. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I said. I was like, I'm down.
That way
big
they
hit
don't
on the
get
phone.
exhausted too. They can have one night where they're just sitting.
That's yeah. Oh, I bet they'd appreciate that. I mean, I know their muscles would.
Yeah. Well, and especially now that, like, not that they're not training and like keeping themselves in good condition, but it's different than performing 2 nights a week every week for months and months and months. You know, like they're just not in that peak of a condition right now. They're still in peak condition. But
right.
You know, they're out of tour shape basically, and so it's going to be a while for them to get that stamina back up.
Yeah.
So an acoustic night would work very well.
Yes, it would. An acoustic night at a small, intimate venue.
That would be awesome.
Just not Fortnite.
No, right. Not Fortnite.
I don't mind Fortnite, but I like a real in person.
Yeah, definitely in person.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if they'll do something like what group was it that you shared the tweet from, Susan? Was it Flaming Lips that did the all bubbles? Like they were in bubbles and their audience was in the bubbles. Like
that is so cool.
I really hope that becomes an actual thing. Like,
I'm down.
Me too.
I will go get my bubble.
Me too.
That's awesome. I hope they do it.
And you could fit a decent amount of people in a stadium if everybody's in bubbles.
Yeah, you could.
Totally. That would solve a lot of problems.
It's things that we have to think about nowadays.
Okay, wait a minute. Now I'm thinking about logistics.
Like, how do you get in and out?
The bubble in. No, you're going to have to like transport your bubble in, but then you have to inflate it.
Yeah.
I can't imagine they'd let you'd fit through the doors and your bubbles. So like they'd have to have filling stations, you know, and so then the line would back up.
Like oxygen tanks.
Thousands of people to fill up their bubble.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that more and see how they've been doing that at those concerts. It's fascinating.
It's still very cool. I like that. The concept is very awesome. Unless the logistics need worked out.
Right. Unless the venue is already full of the bubbles and you just go claim your bubble.
Ooh, yeah, like that's your seat.
Right.
So
they'd have to rip out chairs and stuff.
So do we want to talk about In the Soop? I'm going to miss In the Soop. I loved In the Soop. So
me too.
Yeah.
I was actually sad that they didn't have a scene at the end of what we saw where they were driving away from that spot. It kind of felt like it ended in a strange way.
It did end in a strange way, and it kind of makes me wonder if we're going to get like Bangtan Bomb or something. And you know what? Every time they've been together, they've always had that final night and they write each other letters. And I kind of miss that from In the Soop. I would have loved to have seen them because that's like their special bonding thing, or they exchange a gift, or they share letters, or just something fun. And they didn't do that this time. So I felt like, oh.
I guess at the end, though, of Bon Voyage 4, they kind of just ended it. They didn't go to the airport at the end of BV4. They just ended it that last night where they were all having a great time. So I guess it was similar. But it would have been cool to see them go back to the city. For some reason, I felt like that would have been nice.
Well, and since we've seen them leave the city, like the whole first episode really was them traveling down to get to the place. So like it would have just bookended it well.
I'm very curious why they had to leave and come back.
I've been looking at the dates, and it looks like it was around the end of May, and it looked like there were some days in there where they did a radio show with Jimin, and then there was some other stuff they did, and now I can't remember. But I was looking at the calendar because I thought I heard somewhere in an earlier episode when they came back, Jimin mentioned that he had just done the radio show the previous weekend with Yoongi. Mm-hmm. So that made me start thinking, so I started thinking about the dates. So it looked like there were some things that went on for like 3 or 4 days where they had to come back. And there was even a V Live where they were sitting in that room they're always sitting in.
Right.
Doing arts and crafts. So I don't know. I need to look at the dates again, but it seemed like they came back for something and then they went back. Yeah, then they went back to that cool place.
Yeah, but like no, I was just gonna add, in late May, Jin also had a V Live where he was playing the piano, and I don't know if it was during that time frame as well, or maybe that was right before they left for In the Soop, but I don't know.
But on the beginning of In the Soop, it talks about being in June, and so maybe the second half was in June. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to do some research, but it looked like they did have to come back for something.
Yeah.
When I was looking at the V Lives. Yeah.
It's like you don't just leave in the middle of vacation to go back to the city for
something. I know.
It's not for something super important, but yeah. And it wasn't just like one person either. It was like all of them. Namjoon left first and then the other guys followed. But yeah, both times though, or In the Soop, it showed their journey back down to the forest both times, but not quite showing the journey back home. Either way, though, I was just gonna add it, but either way, though, I'm always thankful for whatever we can get from them.
Yeah.
It's always just nice to see them on screen. I catch myself staring at them instead of comprehending what they're saying. I'm like, oh, I should read what they're saying.
Yeah, I just thought, I mean, I know that they're working, but I just think they really love these shows when they get away, and even though there's people filming them.
I get the same impression. They cracked me up doing the fireworks.
Yeah, Jin was so funny. He's like, well, I just wanted to do it, so I did it. And he's like, sorry, I'm waking everybody up, but
but when they all did them together.
Yeah, that was cute.
At night, I thought it was very cute.
You can hear little J, I didn't mean to call him little, but you can hear J-Hope. He keeps yelling every single time it goes off. And then there was this one part where I think it was Tae and Jungkook, where I guess they were waiting for it, and then it just went off all of a sudden. And it kind of startled them both. And then there was one moment where it went off, and they're like, "That's it." That was the lamest firework ever. Their comment cracked me up. But yeah, it was fun watching them.
Oh yeah, I love that show. It'll be interesting to see what they get to do next year. So
I hope it's something that's as relaxing as In the Soop again, because I felt like they really enjoyed that. Besides always asking, what are we going to eat? What are we going to do next? I mean, that's the kind of vacation that I would like, is to try and figure out what I'm doing, rather than having my mind running 100 miles per hour, trying to catch up to whatever it is I'm doing.
The thing that made me happy about In the Soop is that in previous Bon Voyages, I've heard them mention more than once how beautiful they think Korea is. And so, where would you want to travel? And more than one of them has always said, oh, well, I would just love to travel around Korea. So, it made me really happy that they got their wish, that they weren't sent away to a foreign land, that they actually got to enjoy their home country that they love so much. And I think that was also part of just that aura that they each had, just the peace and the calm and the relaxation, because I mean they're home.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I think if COVID's done anything for us and for BTS, they've gotten to spend and appreciate more time in Korea. Like all of the performances we've gotten at all of the landmarks and stuff. Like I'm sure some of that would have still been possible, but it wouldn't have been as likely because they would have been traveling.
Right.
So like there's some silver lining.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I forgot what the exact name of this this organization was, but it had something to do about the heritage and culture of Korea. And they had mentioned, I guess, an appreciation for BTS with trying to choose those specific landmarks for that for their performances and stuff. And I couldn't agree more. What a great way to introduce people to Korea by having them perform at those landmarks, because those palaces and stuff that they had performed at during BTS week on Jimmy Fallon, I didn't. I mean, I've heard about them, but I didn't realize how beautiful they were until I was watching the guys performing there. And then it really made me. I'm a wanderlust, so it really made me want to just jump on a plane and go.
Yeah. The Gyeongbokgung Palace was the first palace that my daughter and I went to when we went to Seoul. That was like day one of our sightseeing. I was like, we are going there. First, I need to go see the statue of King Sejong the Great, who created Hangul, and which is right down the esplanade, just in front of the palace. And then we went to the palace, and it is so beautiful. It is really, I'm like, do you guys see this coolness in your city? It's like in your city. It's just gorgeous. Yeah. It made me with soul.
Aww. Yeah. And I love that about the guys too. Like you guys were saying, how happy that they're able to just travel around in Korea. And every time they would see something as they're driving, they're like, "Can you guys believe it that there's something this beautiful in our home country?" And I'm just thinking, "Aw." And I do that too. I mean, I drive around and I'm like, "Oh, I never noticed this beautiful place."
Mm-hmm.
And at around my home place. So, yeah. So
So
what's been y'all's? I was just gonna ask, what's been y'all's favorite part of In the Soop?
I think for me it was Hobie and the glider. For some reason that just made me cry. Like I just thought it was the sweetest like thing that, it really made a big difference for him. Like you could tell it had a big impact that he was able to do that and succeed at that. That was kind of like something that he got to mark off his checklist from his childhood that he hadn't been successful at before. I thought that was really sweet. And also the paintings that the guys did, I thought that was really, really nice. And they did a great job.
My favorite was Tay in the canoe.
Yeah.
Tay out in the canoe alone and listening to music and just appreciating the beauty. You could tell he was just wrapped up in just his beautiful surroundings, and I couldn't help but think he probably doesn't have too many of these moments where he's alone and able to appreciate his surroundings. So I loved that part.
Have a favorite, Melissa?
No, I'm behind. So I'm like way behind. The J-Hope with the gliders will probably continue to be. I don't know, but I'm with Susan. Like it was just so sweet. Like the pureness in his happiness when that thing actually like took off. Not that he is not genuinely happy a lot of the time, but like there was just something on a different level about like the kind of giggly giddiness that he had that I'm pretty sure I had tears too, Susan, so don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. You were not alone. It was just so touching. Like, I don't know. It was good.
I really liked how adaptable he is. Like just watching him all the time and how he gets along with every single member, and he just adapts very well. Because Tay wanted to go on a drive, and he just jumps on and goes on a ride with him. So yeah, I hope he's living up to his name as being Mr. Sunshine.
He's kind of like, I don't know. He's just sort of the glue to the group. I don't know. Like he'll do anything with anyone. Like you always see him like trying to engage with the others. Not that anybody else doesn't per se. Like I don't want it taken the wrong way, but like he just, I don't know. He's the one that nurtures the 7 of them together. I think it feels like, not that the others don't sometimes, but he just comes by it naturally. I think that's just his personality.
Oh, speaking of personalities, I thought it was really interesting that for some reason, I mean, I kind of knew Jin and Yoongi were very similar, but even though it almost seems quite the contrary, but it was surprising to hear that both of them were both INTP. Was that what it was? I'm not great with this MBTI stuff, but yeah, because you have Yoongi, who's he seems very calm and collected, and then you have Jim, who's very outgoing and fun, and at least that's how they present themselves. But when they're actually deep down in their moments, I do see that similarity between those two. And I really love that conversation that they had together. It just seemed really heartwarming to hear them talk to each other, and I guess telling each other, yeah, we won't live with any regrets. Just keep going and everything will be fine. It's just fun watching the guys together.
I love watching them interact. Like that's my favorite thing.
Me too.
Like they're watching them perform is fantastic, but like just watching them interact with one another, their interpersonal stuff is
just watching them be and watching the payoff of how long have they been together? Some of them have been together 10 years, and you can see the fruits of that labor, all the hard work they did to find commonalities. Relationships take a lot of work. They take a lot of nurturing. Crystal, you know that I feel like relationships are like that house plant. And the second you neglect it, it starts to show its withering leaves. And with the boys, I can tell that they take that very, very seriously. And they have worked hard to overcome every bump in the road. And so I love seeing that in people. I just love just kind of sitting back and watching how people relate to each other and love each other and give each other space when they need it. Junie could go off and read his book, and it was as natural as Jimin and JK running around and giggling. You know what I mean? You can tell that they just have a certain way, and they work so well together.
Definitely agree.
And like Jimin said, even on that episode, and he said it many times before, he didn't think that they would have become as close if they hadn't had to live together.
Right.
That makes all the difference. And this might sidetrack a little bit. I just remember in one of their documentaries, they were saying even if there is an argument between them, they don't just sit on it. They don't neglect that, and they try to talk it out and make sure it's resolved before moving on. So that takes a lot of work. And for these 7 guys to be able to overcome all of that and understand each other, even though they may have different personalities, but still come together as one, I think that's definitely something everybody can learn from.
For sure. And they've learned valuable skills, right? So yes, they've not had the typical 20-year-old life. They've not gotten to date and things like that, but they've built some never-ending relationships, and those are skills that they will be able to transfer over into romantic relationships if and when that comes about. They've already got those skills. So that's, again, they didn't walk the traditional path, but there's a lot of benefits to the path they went.
Exactly. Well said.
Do we want to talk about the pop-up store, or have we already talked about the pop-up store?
I'm scared of the pop-up store. I'm scared of it. 300 items? 300. 300.
Right.
Like I need a couple extra zeros in my bank account to
Right.
be able to buy.
And this is on top of the daily merch
Yes.
drops.
Yeah, we're still going to be getting Tiny Tan stuff and who knows what else.
And then B merch probably too.
Oh,
Right.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure.
There's
we still
no
have the
rest.
final DVD and probably the one DVD. I mean,
winter package is going to be coming out. Season's greetings are going to be coming out. Like, this is just normal standard stuff that comes out. So then they were like, oh, you know what would be funny? 300 other items. Like, let's just watch how fast they sell it out, because we're all going to complain we're broke. But it is going to sell out.
You know,
it would be fun to go to the Soul store and at least just look at it all, but of course we can't do that. So
I know.
It would be cool if we could just have like a virtual tour of it.
Right.
Oh, maybe we'll at least get some bombs of the guys going like they did to the last pop-up store. That was really cute.
That was
cute.
That was so many iconic, cute moments.
Seriously.
They can wrap towels around themselves or do something. That would be fun.
Try the towels out for us, guys.
Oh, they could have like those little those little towels that really aren't towels. They're like the little skirt. Let's have some of those.
Big Hit, we're giving you all of our money. Take some of our ideas, please.
Okay, speaking of Big Hit getting all of our money, I know you guys have seen the news about the IPO that, what was it, double the amount that they were anticipating?
Yes, double.
Yeah,
that's like crazy.
Making Bang PD like the 5th or 6th richest person in Korea.
Yes.
Like,
and all the millions that each member, I mean, they are truly multi-millionaires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I just want one share. Can a girl get a share?
I know.
A girl outside Korea. Let me specify.
I'm hoping that in a month or so that we can make that happen, because
I hope so.
Yeah, I'm still researching how I can make that happen for myself, but I haven't found a solution yet. Okay,
if you find one, Susan, please share, because I want to invest in Big Hit. And then, like, our purchases will be even more meaningful.
Exactly.
Oh, I own stock in the company. It's okay. Part of this is coming back to me.
That's funny.
Return on your investment? Is that
what that is? That's what I'll tell myself anyway. I'm really surprised at how quiet the boys have been, though. Seriously.
I think they're coloring their hair or something.
Yeah, it could be that they don't want to reveal the new hairstyles and the hair colors. Stylist Nunes, though, please do not get rid of the undercut. We insist.
No. Please increase the undercut.
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
To be more. Like Tay had a little baby
more prominent
undercut, but we need like all the way around, like lots of it.
That was just like his sides were cleaned up a little. Yeah. That was not, in my book, that's not a true undercut.
That's true.
If Army wants to scream it and call it an undercut, I'm not gonna argue with them. But like, I need it to be more like Kobe, Jimin,
Yes.
Yoongi.
Yes.
I think we're suspicious of them all the time, though, right? If they're active a lot, we're like, something's going on. If they're quiet, we're like, something's going on.
We are paranoid.
Something's clearly going on. Right.
You know what, though? I am sad. I am sad we did not get a Jimin birthday V-Live, especially since it coincided with the Billboard BTS World Domination #1 and #2 spot. I was fully expecting we're going to have celebratory, happy, not we cried all night, but we laughed all night and we partied all night kind of V-Live. And we've heard crickets.
Yeah, I mean, he promised us one, so what the heck?
Right, he promised us one. They did 2 concerts. They did the Billboards 1 and 2, and then the global charts. It
doesn't add up.
No, it really doesn't. So something's going on.
Something is going on.
Something big. For big hit.
Right. Something big, something B related, I'm sure.
Yes.
They don't have much time really to, I mean, if they're changing up their style a lot from the one to comeback, you know, they only have like a month. So
they're probably recording the video for the lead single and stuff, but still, you would think they'd still do a short B live or just one without visuals like the radio ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring back Cool FM.
I can't imagine their schedule. They're probably hustling and bustling, doing this and that. That's what I always find so amazing with even with this whole COVID thing. These guys are nonstop. They're unstoppable.
No.
And
These
Army's all here for
guys
it.
have, I mean, 2020 has really truly been their year. I mean, they have made $1 bajillion. They have put out, yes, they have put out content galore. They have, to a degree, they've broken through. I mean, I watch commercials on TV and I hear Dynamite. I've never heard BTS on the TV on a commercial, and I always freeze, like, don't change the channel. I'm screaming at my family because I hear it and I'm like running, like, whoa, those are my babies. And I mean, so this has been such a monumental year, which is crazy to me because I don't think too many artists can claim the same.
No,
Definitely not.
And it's like no joke either because I hear the songs for Major League Baseball. I hear the songs for the NFL. I see a picture of LeBron James wearing this Dynamite shirt. I'm like, holy cow. And then you have John Cena who's always talking about good things about BTS. It's like these are major people, major ordeals that has BTS involved. So yeah, these guys are no joke. But I agree. 2020 has definitely been their year. And it's every time they do any small clip that we see on YouTube or, for any performance that they're doing, it's just looking at each of the individuals. It just seems like to me, I see them glowing. They're just in their happy moments. And I'm like, I'm so happy. BTS.
Yeah, I mean it's weird to think that we wouldn't have had Dynamite if they'd done their normal tour and what they had planned for 2020. But it's been such a huge deal for them, and like you guys were saying, I mean, my friends are even saying, I heard Dynamite on television on a cell phone ad, and I'm like, I know. So I mean, even non-fans are talking to me about it, which I find fascinating, and they never did before. So.
No, you guys are right. Like 2020's given us, it's taken a lot, but it's given us a lot. Because you're right, Dynamite, I would venture to say all of B probably would not have been. And of course, we haven't heard it yet, but I already know it's going to be amazing.
Yes. I feel like the inspiration for B was their feelings, the things that they were going through emotionally.
Yeah.
With the outbreak of COVID. And so in some strange way, I feel like maybe things had to go this way.
If they land a Grammy nomination and hopefully a win out of this year, then this year then COVID has been worth all of it.
Yeah. Yes.
Because it'll be because of Dynamite. I mean, honestly,
yes.
even if it's not Dynamite that gets the official nomination or win, it will be because of Dynamite. That's what's pushed them over into Western radio and TV.
Right.
So
it's because of, yep. How many submissions? I read 7 submissions. Was it 4 for Dynamite and 3 for Map of the Soul, or do I have that reversed?
Sounds right.
Okay. It does sound right.
But so I feel it in my gut. I feel like they're going to get a nomination. Oh my gosh, if they don't get a nomination, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do with Western media. Right. Well, yeah. We're coming for you, people. All 30 million of us.
Right,
And,
watch out.
like that in and of itself will feel like a victory. But I really want them to have that win.
Yeah, as much as we know that it doesn't matter, it matters to them, right? Like,
Right.
and they probably ultimately know that it doesn't matter really either, but like, that's their holy grail, and by damned, we're gonna get it for them somehow. I know we don't get to vote on it, but like somehow we're gonna make it happen.
Yes, we
Yes,
will.
we are.
I hope they win though for Map of the Soul 7 rather than Dynamite. I just feel like that would be really, really nice.
Well, I think that would mean more to them and to Army. I mean, Dynamite's a fantastic song. I have no qualms with it, but like Map of the Soul is, they did so much. Like they put their soul into it. Like those songs
Right.
are, and they're in Korean.
Well, Map of the Soul to me is a true representation of who they are lyrically, musically, creatively. It highlights them perfectly. Dynamite was a gift that landed in their lap, and they interpreted it in a very special way, but it's not 100% them. It's like westernized them. But Army, we like who they are, their authentic selves. So yeah, I agree with you, Susan. It would be wonderful for them to be acknowledged for exactly who they are.
Yes. Not for who we're trying, not we, but who Western media is trying to make them to be.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I am thankful Savage Love, it had Korean lyrics to it, and it still made it to #1 the Billboard. I'm like,
Yes.
There we go. We're in the right direction right now.
That's true.
Can we just talk about Savage Love for a second? Like, it's so good.
Go for it.
Every time I hear it, I'm just like, oh, I really like this song. It is. It's really good. And I love the Korean parts. I don't know what they're saying. I guess I should go read the lyrics, but but I just
International
like the
Army
sound.
struggle.
Always.
Yeah. Yeah, it has a nice catchy tune, and I love it too.
And I see it being used on TikTok a lot, so that's also good. I know that helps, counts towards something. I don't know.
I'm not good with social media at all, but my understanding is if there's a song that's being used frequently on TikTok, then that's a good thing.
Yep, that's a good thing. Just
Yeah.
like if you Shazam songs, it counts as a radio play.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I'll have to
Yeah.
focus on
Oops.
that next time.
I have to make sure I've got the Shazam going during the commercials then.
Yeah.
Oh man, missed opportunities. Okay, I'm gonna get on that.
You know, I've had friends who commented that they said, Crystal, you already know that song. Why are you Shazamming it? I have my reasons.
But you should Shazam it too, friends.
That's
Oh
right.
wait, my phone's not working. Can I borrow yours?
Do you want to talk about School Love Affair Special Edition?
Sure.
We don't have to.
I don't know what I have to say about it.
Oh, okay.
Like,
I
but
haven't
we
watched
definitely
the DVDs
can.
yet.
Well, I found it
No,
just
me either.
fascinating just to see like the Target ad last Sunday for it. You know, I just thought that's kind of amazing to see a Target ad that's focused on a 2014 re-release of a Korean album. I just found that fascinating.
Yes.
I just thought, wow, we've come a long way.
We have.
We have.
I'm surprised
I hope
Army isn't saving those ads.
Some probably have. I did see something on Twitter. The re-release version in the US is different than the re-release version in Korea. So
Really?
If you guys grab your copies or think about them, your cover on the front is flat and
Yes.
it's raised and embossed in Korea. And
Right.
our photo book inside has some sort of like wrinkle effect that the Korean one does not have. Like the content's the same, but yeah, they produced the ones here, I guess, and then the ones in Korea got produced somewhere else.
Okay, so what you're saying is we have to go to Korea and get School of Affairs Special Edition Korean version.
Possibly, or like me, I ordered from Global when the pre-order happened, and then I ordered from Target with the buy two get one.
Oh, there you go.
Very good. Yeah, because I think now I understand what you're saying because I remember seeing a screenshot of one on Twitter and it looked like it was blue and raised, like you said.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, and it's just little things like that. I don't think it really makes much of a difference, but the Korean re-release is pretty much a replica of the original, whereas the US one is a little bit of its phony cousin.
I wonder then if the Korean photo cards are of a better quality than the American photo cards.
I would be curious to see, and I will answer that question when mine come in. They're shipping soon, so we know that means, in the next month, maybe I'll see them.
Christmas.
Right.
But I think it says a lot that Big Hit re-released this, and I hope that means that we'll be getting more older, because it's so hard for those of us who haven't been Army from the beginning. Like, there's no way. I can't justify spending $250 on HYOH on stage 2015, but I want it so bad. So, like, if they re-released it, I'd be all over it.
I think they will. I think they'll continue to do this. It's just such an easy moneymaker for them.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. I think it speaks well for those of us who want to add those things in.
Okay, so I am ordering School of Affairs Special Edition from the Weavers Global Shop. And get this, y'all, I'm so excited. I have $13.80 in Weavers cash that I'm applying to this, which will pay for what, half of shipping?
Half of shipping.
But it's all good.
Yeah.
It's still something.
Yes.
Although they do make me mad when they're like, here, we're going to give you, like, you scan your QR code and it's like, you get 15 cents. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, it costs you more to print that.
Right. And that's why I'm shocked that I even have $13.80. Like, oh, I guess this is from my 3 years of being Army. That's how much I've amassed. Amassed, in quotes. Yay, Melissa, I'm glad you said something about the difference. This worked out today.
I'll have an extra Korean copy if somebody wants it. It probably won't have a photo card, though.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Especially if it's
I bought two.
I know. I think I'll be okay. I like my OT7 microscopic card. I'll keep it.
Well, I showed y'all the Jungkook card and I couldn't tell who that was in the background because it wasn't as microscopic as the OT7 pic, but still I was like, wait, who is that? Is that Jimin? It should come with a magnifying glass too.
Yeah,
I mean,
really
if we're
small.
being honest.
I'm sure if Big Hit hears this, they're gonna have that in their items. Magnifying glass.
I think
I would buy that.
Big Hit really, really should, in their R&D department, they should have people regularly listening into podcasts to find out what we want. So I just want to give a shout out to the Big Hit staff member that's listening to us right now. Thank you so much. Give the boys our love, and please space out the merch drops. 감사합니다.
Can you start a layaway program?
Oh my gosh, yes.
People also have been requesting like a gift card. Gift.
That would be awesome.
Gift, merch to other people. That would be really nice.
Like, here's your $25 gift card. I covered your shipping. Have a nice day.
Right. Woohoo!
If Big Hit was really, really smart, they would do that, and then part of the proceeds would go to some charity, some global philanthropic something or other.
Or start their own. You're 100% right. We'd be buying gift cards all the time. We'd be rolling in Weavers gift cards.
We would, but it would also satisfy that need in us to be the change. Okay, so what are we doing? Where, what's the cause? rights are we championing? I think that would be so part of their brand.
Yeah.
To do that.
Well, the UNICEF Love Yourself campaign is still going on, right? So that's definitely something they could do. But it'd be cool if they even did a Korean foundation or something.
Yeah.
I totally see them being philanthropists and doing their own thing. And I feel like we'll get there.
You know, they do it on the side and they do it anonymously, for which I respect them so much. But I also feel like Army wants in on this too. And so if they did something public, they could still do their secret things, you know, sending the schools, paying for all the books and that type of thing, which they always do on their birthdays. But something that Army could take part in and feel like we also are participating.
Mm-hmm.
If they told us, though, I mean, I get keeping it anonymous, but if they even just said, and I think I know they appreciate all the things that Army's doing across the world for them on their birthdays and things like that, but like we could really gangbusters something. I mean, you see what we did with Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So like if they wanted to champion something for that meant something to them, we're not just buying books for a school, we're buying a school.
Right.
You know, like
we'll see your books and we'll raise you a whole dang building.
So true. And that's why I love John Cena's comment so much on Jimmy Fallon, because he was saying it's remarkable where you have these 7 guys that can convey these good messages to Army and then have Army take out part of their money to help with any cause that whatever they're supporting. I mean, Army's watching their every step and we're willing to help be that change. And I think that's so much goodness in this world.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Bangtan and Borahae. You can find us on Twitter at Borahae Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook at Bangtan and Borahae, and our email is bangtanandborahae@gmail.com.
Until next time, this is Crystal,
Dee,
Melissa,
Jay,
Susan,
Tina.
Borahae.